apologize to my colleague Scott Ream for enunciating my R's. Andres Jeudi from Dorchester,
I got to keep
Mass.
remembering that I'm in Rhode Island, so I'll try to work your accent.
Well, we run into similar habits here, so don't feel too bad. This one should be exciting at the lightweight division, 155 pounds. Tim O'Connell in the black trunks with the white trim. Andres Jeudi, similar colors with the gray stripe going down the side. Round number 1 of 3 in the lightweight division.
And no touch of gloves in the beginning of this one either.
Now you see what Tim's doing. It was Andreas is the lefty. He's trying to work to the outside. He's doing that smartly. Trying to keep his lead foot outside of Andreas' lead foot.
Just keep chasing.
Nice inside leg kick for Jeudi.
See, Andreas also has a very slow, kind of like methodical stand-up style also. So
it's that traditional tie. As the beat gets, as the music picks up, he picks up.
Jeudi trying to go up top, just missing against O'Connell.
Tim's doing a good job keeping his hands up. Tim's got to keep that chin tucked though. He keeps a little anxious.
Nice inside leg kick by Andreas again.
So far, we're in that feeling out process here in the opening round.
Yeah, I don't think either guy wants to commit too much at this point. I think Andreas is afraid of getting taken down, and I think Tim's afraid of
doesn't want to get hit.
Yeah, doesn't want to take that punch. So
when you see the resume, certainly you would want to stay away as well. Andres Jeudi, the black shark.
I mean, Andreas has almost pinpoint accuracy, and then
you can see where Tim's just throwing punches even short, but making sure that Andreas is not coming forward first.
Yeah, and Tim's still doing a really good job, making Andreas miss, doing certain things. I mean, the only bad thing about Andreas' style is little to no head movement. I mean, I think if you closed your eyes and just threw a punch, the head would still be there. Tim's doing the right thing. He's got Andreas backing up, but he doesn't want to feed too much into that. Good job.
Nice shot.
He shoots for the takedown, but Jeudi gets out of it.
Is that a stomp out?
Step out.
Step out.
Definitely had the right idea. I think he picked the spot there, and he kind of caught him sleeping a bit. When you go a minute and a half with very little action, then all of a sudden your opponent shoots in there, it can kind of catch you by surprise. But Jeudi recovered nicely. 2.5 minutes to go in round number 1 of this lightweight battle.
Nice inside leg kick again.
Yeah, he's worked a few of those in. Now we're going to have a bit of a stoppage.
Jorge Rivera just walked by and he said it looked like Andreas is setting up that left head kick, that left high kick. So keep our eyes on that.
I think we had a wardrobe malfunction.
I like how I like how Andreas is keeping that front foot kind of like unstable for Tim. He's not making it. He's making it very complicated for him to step in or even take a shot or do anything.
There it is. Nice job, Jorge, wherever you are.
Went right upstairs and caught O'Connell on the chin. O'Connell walks through it.
It was more foot than shin.
O'Connell again trying to go for the takedown.
And he's trying to set it up. He's just not bringing his feet with him on the punches. Nice straight left hand by Andreas.
Now Andreas is getting a little more confident, moving around a lot more.
Yeah, you can certainly see it in his body language, Mike. The confidence starting to rise after landing a couple of shots.
I think Andreas' confidence is going to rise with every defended takedown. I think that's when he'll get more and more confident. Once he realizes, yeah, I mean, if he realizes that Tim can't take him down, then he's just going to do whatever he wants.
I think what Tim's going to end up doing now is just going to blast.
At some point, it may be his last resort, and we'll see how that plays into Jeudi's hands.
Tim's doing a good job, but he keeps hitting that straight left right down the middle. He's doing a good job circling, but he's still keeping his head in the middle as he's circling, so he kind of needs to use that also.
Apparently the blood on Tim's nose is bothering him a little bit, but this is where he wants to be. He's going to look to shoot that double or work a trip. But Andreas is doing a great job fighting him off.
Tim's doing a good job smothering.
Absolutely. Good hip pressure on the inside. He's almost got his back standing. He's got a little hip toss there. Nice step through. Great step through. Right into side control.
Well, O'Connell gets the takedown he's been looking for this entire round. But I don't think time is on his side here. We are in the latter stages of round number 1. Driving those elbows in. And this is where O'Connell wants to be. Final 10 seconds of round number 1. It looks like Jeudi will survive, but a good finish at the very least for Tim
That
O'Connell.
could have stole the round for him. Finishes like this. It was pretty even. He got the takedown late. He put a little punishment.
He definitely saved it for the most important 30 seconds of that last round. We'll see how the judges see it. For the most part, Andres Jeudi, I thought, really controlled the pace of that round, but a nice job finishing by Tim O'Connell toward the end. So a really tough round to score. I think both fighters showed a little bit of why or what their strengths are.
The takedown late in the round, though, and good control and keeping him on the ground. I think that might have sold it.
And certainly the judges always remember one of the last things they see, and that could certainly sway their decision making. So we'll see how these two come out in round number 2. But a very good action so far in this lightweight bout. Andres Jeudi and Tim O'Connell. And it looks like O'Connell, they're trying to plug that nosebleed. And I couldn't tell if it was courtesy of the kick or if just the repeated left hands. It might have been the left hands that opened up that wound.
I think one of the key elements that Tim has to do with this next round is just try to frustrate Andreas the same way that he just did. I mean, and get him to overcommit, maybe turn too far to one side, try to take his back, try to get him to overcommit to something. He needs to frustrate him.
Well, he's standing right in front of Andreas and playing his game with him. He might not be beating him at it, but he's not getting hurt too bad with it.
Right.
So it's a confidence builder for Tim. But I have to agree with you. If I'm Tim, I want to stay right what I'm doing and keep adding pressure and getting Andreas back to the ground.
All right, round number 2 underway.
Right now, I think Tim should just push the pressure and at least try to get Andreas' back closer to the cage. And just make him feel uncomfortable, make him feel pressured.
Well, we'll see if O'Connell can carry over the finish from round number 1 into round number 2. We'll see if his confidence is shot up at all. He definitely finished strong toward the end.
You can see it in O'Connell's feet where he's on a little bit of a bounce. He feels a little more relaxed. Throwing a head kick of his own right there.
Almost caught Jeudi upstairs. This time Jeudi
Nice
comes
defense.
back. O'Connell got that right hand up to block it.
Yeah, the only problem is, I mean, you especially from a guy like Andreas, you eat a lot of those left legs to that right forearm. I mean, same thing happened to Frank Shamrock. I mean, after a while with Kung Lee. I mean, after a while, those start to take.
Yep, that forearm
take
drops eventually.
See, Tim's doing a good job.
Nice right hand by O'Connell.
O'Connell, the surprising aggressor in the stand-up game so far in this round. Yeah.
And again, Andreas is working that lead leg, not really letting Tim kind of step on it, be able to get a pace, but
I'd like to see Andreas throw a straight left hand and a right hook behind it.
I was I was thinking, I didn't say it.
Caught him with the right jab on the way in.
Yeah, nice stiff jab.
Scott, you are always on the money, buddy. It seems like Andreas is throwing one kick, one punch, one kick, one punch.
Nice sprawl there. It was a nice shot. It looked like he had both. It was a nice sprawl.
I'd like to see Tim set those up a little more with some punches.
Yeah, for the most part, Andreas has really snuffed out those takedown attempts.
Well, Tim's too far away.
Right. What Mike was saying, the point was, is if you can make them, to Andreas' credit, he's staying in the middle of the cage. So if Tim can back him up where he runs him into the cage, like Mike was saying, Tim's going to have a better ability, a better chance of taking him down.
And if he runs out of room with nowhere to go, it almost leaves him with no choice. We'll see if O'Connell can get him back there. But right now, Jeudi trying to maybe win back that aggressor angle.
I'd really like to see Tim keep that right hand up when that inside leg kick comes, because Andreas is definitely setting up that high head kick, as Jorge Rivera had pointed out earlier. See, he's getting him circling towards that leg already.
He's opening his hips up as he does it, so he gets full rotation.
Good jab. All right, Tim's doing a good job.
He's holding his own. He's not taking too much punishment from a pretty good striker.
He's actually outstriking him this round.
Yeah, O'Connell definitely not afraid to land his hands fly in round number 2, and it's actually paid off for him and worked to his advantage. And maybe that's caught Andreas by surprise a bit, maybe not expecting O'Connell to be so willing to engage, but he has been so far, and it's definitely been his round, I would say, through the first 3 minutes. We'll see how Andreas Jeudi responds.
It's a little frustrating for Tim as well, because Andreas is, get great distance and feel for his distance, inside leg kick, and Tim will throw a punch and Andreas will be gone. You know, that's a nice straight left hand where he met him on the way in.
That was a great time left hand. The other thing I was going to say on Tim's behalf also is every time Andreas throws that rear leg, Tim's countering with that right hand, which is good.
He's doing the best he can to get it off.
That got the blood flowing again. It certainly caught O'Connell's attention, and we'll see if it's a distraction for him. It appeared to be a bit in round number 1. He tried to wipe it away, and it definitely bothered him. You see, he's just trying to wipe that blood away from the nose.
Another straight left hand. He's walking into it. O'Connell's walking straight into it.
I think O'Connell's going to start backing up at this point, guys.
He should take a shot.
And like I said, what happens is that Tim's circling to the outside of that foot. He's getting Andreas to chase with the legs, but not necessarily the hands, because he's still keeping his head right in the middle of Andreas' hips as he's circling out. He has to get his whole body on the outside. Get him chasing more.
He's throwing punches, but he's not moving his feet with the punches. There's that high head kick. Now, this is how relaxed.
He is definitely feeling it right here. Andreas Jeudi lands 2 big left kicks. O'Connell can't do anything about it. The blood's coming out of the nose. And Judy's really taking control of this round in the last minute and a half.
Good inside leg kick by Tim.
Momentarily slow the momentum. Back upstairs again by Andreas Jeudi. 34 seconds to go in round number 2.
That head kick landed flush. That was a flush.
He has done a nice job here.
You can see where Tim's not as willing to bring himself forward and commit right now.
Yeah, Andreas now that Andreas is causing damage, now he's using those feints. It's going to keep Tim on his heels even more. And Andreas is just going to start, if
he'll be patient. He'll throw another 2 or 3 rear leg kicks and one will hit flush. That's how he likes to work.
A strong finish for Andreas Jeudi in round number 2. And perhaps this one could be even at 1 apiece going into round number 3. And I would have to say Andreas Jeudi certainly has the momentum going into the 3rd round. He has really inflicted a lot more damage with his strikes than Tim O'Connell has. Now, we were surprised at the beginning of the 2nd round with how aggressive O'Connell was with his hands, but didn't really inflict a lot of damage. You look at what Andreas Jeudi has done, the nosebleed, they're plugging the blood right now, trying to stop that flow. He's really inflicted some damage, and O'Connell looking a bit tired at this point. I think Judy's got all the confidence in the world going into round number 3.
Well,
and we're going to see one of those kicks that just backed up O'Connell. Take a look at this, guys. It's so quick, comes right in and bang.
Nice wrap around.
Yeah, and he leaned right into it. O'Connell leaned into that kick, and don't think for a second Andreas didn't set it like that. Now, to O'Connell's credit, you see what he did. He shook it off, and he kept coming forward. He didn't look hurt. If he was hurt, he did a great job of just not showing your opponent how bad that might have hurt.
He certainly hasn't shown it, but I'm sure deep down he's feeling a lot of pain. That last minute and a half was a rough one for him, and Andreas Jeudi really took control. I think we got it even after a round, after 2 rounds.
I'd like to see round 2, like, statistically. I think they probably landed around the same amount of strikes, but like you said, Andreas just caused more damage.
I think they definitely landed as many.
His accuracy was much greater. And look at Tim keep coming forward. You know what?
He's a fighter, man.
Absolutely, and this is what you love to see. He's pressing the striker right now with his hands.
Well, if he's going to go down, he's going to go down swinging.
It doesn't necessarily mean go down. I mean, he might use this to set up a takedown and get that good control again. Andreas sees a live opponent in front of him right now, and he has to react to this.
I know I stated this earlier with the Horowitz fight, but this is the same kind of idea. Right now, Tim needs to make an ugly fight. He's not going to be able to out-critique or out-technique Andreas. He needs to make an ugly fight, get in there.
Left hand again, right down the middle.
Yeah, and that just opened up the eye.
2 cuts now, or at least 2 spots where Tim O'Connell is bleeding from. It's definitely a distraction for him. And for his sake, you hope it doesn't affect the way he fights these final 4 minutes. But Andreas Jeudi just inflicting damage with almost every shot he lands. He really hasn't wasted any of them, Mike.
Andreas, like we stated earlier, Andreas he's a high pedigree Muay Thai, and he has pinpoint accuracy with his strikes. And you start letting a guy like that get comfortable, feel it, get his rhythm, get his timing.
Once he gets relaxed, it's really hard to get him out of that. Although Tim's doing the right thing by pressuring him, backing him up, and attempting the shoots.
If I was Tim, I would have prepared for this. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised with what's happened.
I think he is very prepared. He looks very good.
Yeah, he just needs to implement that game plan. He needs to go for that takedown right now. He needs to go for broke.
I agree with Mike. It's probably his only chance of winning at this
tough
point.
Left hook.
He really felt that one. That's it. They're going to stop it.
Stop that?
An interesting stoppage. He appeared wobbly, Scott, but didn't appear out on his feet. I thought he recovered right toward the end when the referee stepped in and stopped the fight.
This is MMA.
Yeah, I think Tim
This is
kind of
MMA.
called the
You have-
timeout.
I don't know if there's something I'm missing here, but this is MMA. He was still standing. He looked like he was ready to defend. One more punch, maybe. Who knows?
I agree.
It's follow-through fighting. It's not a point system of fighting. But I think Tim kind of gave the no mas.
Yeah, it might be.
Well, an interesting stoppage around number 3. Andreas Jeudi landed the quote-unquote knockout blow without really
It was a great left
delivering
hook.
the knockout. It certainly was, and it backed up O'Connell, and
It wobbled him.
it
He was
wobbled him.
definitely hurt.
His knees were buckled.
That's what I'm saying. He was hurt.
Oh,
And
we're
they
gonna
should have let
see
that
it.
continue.
We're going to see it right here. We'll see if we can get a better grasp of why this stopped.
Oh, it's kind of right on top of the
Right
head.
on the temple almost, Mike. And I think it may have just caught him by surprise, but he's definitely hurt here. And I think the referee wanted to step in
Oh, you know
before
what?
any more
After seeing
damage.
Tim's reaction right there, where he had his hands up and when the referee stopped it, he was good. Then good for the referee. Great job.